What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and today I want to share a story with you guys about a real-life Christmas Grinch. With the holidays upon us, it most certainly seems like crime escalates during this time of the year. People stealing packages off of front porches, cars getting broken into, theft and robbery possibly climb during this time of the year, and that's probably because people are struggling. People are struggling to be able to provide Christmas for their own families, or maybe it's opportunistic. Boy, that was a powerful word right there. The perfect opportunity and time of the year for criminals to try to up their game in exchange and return for their criminal gain. Boy, I'm sounding like a philosopher with this already. Folks, the story that I'm getting ready to share with you is not only about a Christmas Grinch, but it's also about a young man who appears to have had a dark cloud that's been hovering over his head for some time. Folks, let me go ahead and introduce you to 18-year-old Emmanuel Regin Jr., whose hair is absolutely fantastic in this mugshot. When I look at this man's mugshot, I'm reminded of when I grew my hair out, and y'all thought my hair looked bad. And I'm honestly wondering if he did this on purpose with his hair for this mugshot in an effort possibly for his mugshot to go viral. I know there's been stories in the past where mugshots have gone viral and that's led to some sort of internet stardom. Take that individual with the biggest neck in the world, for example. So maybe Emmanuel Regin Jr. made his hair to look like this dark cloud overhead on purpose, maybe for the reason and with hopes that his mugshot would also go viral as well. Whether or not that was the case, this man's hair has nothing to do with why he is in the news. And why he is in the news is because of a headline that reads, Florida USPS employee accused of stealing more than $1,000 worth of packages. Folks, what we have right here for the third time is a real life Christmas Grinch. Now, I'll go ahead and give you the spoiler right off the rip. The story makes no mention of this man's hair, which looks like most certainly a dark cloud that has been looming over him for some time. He was arrested and charged with third-degree grand theft charges. Now, folks, there's a lot that I want to talk about with this story, and we're going to go ahead and get right into this. 18-year-old Emmanuel Regin Jr. was working as a seasonal USPS postal delivery person, and he had no criminal record prior to this taking place. The story doesn't mention anything about that, but what I do know for a fact is the United States Postal Service is not, I repeat, is not, will never hire anybody who's got a felony on their record. So 18-year-old Emmanuel Regin Jr. was given this amazing opportunity, at least that's what it appears and sounds like to me, even if he was only a seasonal employee of the USPS, which is the United States Postal Service. That seasonal job could have led to a real job. And I don't know what a seasonal employee of the United States Postal Service makes, but I would imagine it's got to be at least a decent wage. But whatever the wage was, that most certainly wasn't good enough for Emmanuel, who would take it upon himself with no prior criminal history to not only catch him some fresh felony charges, but I'm thinking there's a very good possibility that these could be federal felony charges. Because if you steal from the Postal Service, which is a government agency, there's a damn good possibility that could carry Fed charges and Fed time. And if you think about it, this man's story really isn't that gripping with this headline. Florida USPS employee accused of stealing more than $1,000 worth of packages. $1,000 is a lot of money, but it's not like an exuberant amount of money. And I honestly think that the reason why I'm seeing this story is because of this man's mugshot. He knew what he was doing, getting his hair looking like that dark stormy cloud overhead. He knew there was a possibility his mugshot could go viral. This took place down in the state of Florida. Why am I seeing this on Facebook up here in Virginia, if not for that mugshot? But then again, don't get me wrong. It's the holidays. People take stealing packages off of their porches very seriously during this time of the year. If I caught somebody stealing a package off of my porch, if I saw them doing it, you already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up that front door with that phone in my hand. Yes, 911, there goes the assailant right there. He's driving a silver Buick LeSabre, officer. Go get him. You damn right I'm not about to take the law into my own hands. I'm calling the cops. I'm telling. And you know what? We just read the headline where the headline is wrong. Ain't that crazy? This happened down in Miami, and the first thing they say is correction. An earlier version of this story listed the man as a USPS employee. He wasn't. Rather, he was an employee of UPS, UPS, which I don't know. I don't know what it entails to be a seasonal employee of UPS. You might be able to do that with a criminal record. I want to say, for the sake of argument and just to give this man some sort of credit, that he probably didn't have a criminal record going into this. And I don't know if UPS is a government agency. I don't think that it is. I think it's a private company. But it's still dealing with the mail and packages. So I'm really curious to know, if you stole packages from UPS, could that carry federal time or charges? So major correction, it wasn't the United States Postal Service, it was UPS. A seasonal employee with UPS is accused of stealing more than $1,000 worth of packages from customers while on the job. And during the holidays as well, this dude is the worst type of an employee for sure, but the worst type of a person. Who steals packages during the holidays? Unless there's somebody who's got kids that they can't provide a decent Christmas for, and that's all they're trying to do. If that's the case, do you have any sympathy for this individual? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I was in Emmanuel's shoes with that dark cloud of hair hovering over my head, I don't care whether I got kids or I ain't got kids. When I go to court, I'm pulling the sympathy card right out of my pocket. Your Honor, cue the violin track right now. Hold on, Your Honor. Hold on, just 1 second, Your Honor. I can't stop the flood of tears. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I got caught first and foremost, but I am sorry. I just wanted to provide Christmas. Can't you understand? Guilty. Guilty. According to the arrest report, Emmanuel was helping a full-time driver unload packages Monday when he put aside 3 boxes in different locations by different business dumpsters. One package had 2 Kindles inside, and the other had an iPad 7 and a Surface Pro. According to the report, all totaling up to $1,049.97. Folks, I am losing my voice as I'm filming this. Please bear with me. You know, real quick, let's just throw this in here as well. Emmanuel was a sneaky little devil. You're working with another person who's the driver. You're just the helper who's helping to deliver the packages. You know, you got to be sneaky enough to make sure that that driver don't see what you're doing. After the driver and Regin finished unloading the truck, the 2 left the building. The arrest report said Regin returned to the business later in the evening in a Nissan Altima and was seen on surveillance video putting all the boxes in his car. You not only had to watch out for the driver who you were working with, but you should have been mindful. It's 2019, for God's sakes. Everything and everywhere has a camera recording you at all times. Even in your home, there's probably satellites doing it right now. I'll admit sometimes I am quite paranoid. So Emmanuel was caught red-handed loading up his Nissan Altima on the surveillance cameras, but he wouldn't be apprehended just yet. Regin helped the driver unload more packages at the same business the next day, authorities said, before he again set aside a box with an HP laptop under the dumpster outside of the company. He's then accused of grabbing 2 more boxes, which both had PS4s in them, and putting them inside another dumpster. The boxes had a total of $1,049.97 worth of merchandise, the arrest report says. Boy, this dude was striking with all sorts of goodies, and I wonder if he knew what was inside of these packages or if this was just dumb luck. I mean, maybe he was opening the packages prior to actually stealing them. This dude ended up getting him 2 Kindles, an iPad 7, a Surface Pro, 2 PlayStation 4s, and an HP laptop. And all of that only ended up being valued at $1,049.97. A manager at the company was later told there was a package under one of the dumpsters and saw the other 2 packages inside the other dumpster after he found the first package. He watched the surveillance video back and saw Regin the day before putting the packages in his car. Investigators were called to the scene, who said they saw Regin drive by the front of the business before leaving. Can you imagine being this 18-year-old Emmanuel thinking you got the greatest hustle that there is? You've only been at this for a whopping 2 days, or had you been at this prior, just hadn't been caught. But you're going to pick up your bounty, and as you're doing so, you pull up to the business, you see the police sitting up there, carrying out their investigation about you. You peel on off, oh shit, this spot's hot. And then you end up getting stopped in a traffic stop because they done seen you. Probably got out, followed you, and as soon as they stopped you, you agree to cooperate with the investigation, and you agree to allow the officers to search your vehicle, where in the trunk of your car, detectives found the 2 Kindles. And then when they searched your house, they found the iPad 7 and the Surface Pro. They got you caught dead to rights on the camera, and they got you caught dead to rights with the merch. I like to believe that Emmanuel Regin Jr., 18 years old, had no criminal history prior to this, because he seems like a pretty dumb criminal. You know, whatever happens in this situation, whether he gets a slap on the wrist, probation, whether he ends up having to serve some time, which he might, because the story's starting to gain a little viralness, and probably because of that damn dark cloud circling overhead. No matter how this situation plays out for this young man, or what the justification was for him doing this, you know, this is very unfortunate. Here was a young guy who was given an opportunity to be a seasonal employee with a big-time company. Whether we're talking about the United States Postal Service or we're talking about UPS, I can only imagine, because I honestly don't know, that those are damn good jobs to be able to get. And seasonal could potentially turn into full-time. But now Emmanuel can kiss all of that goodbye. Not only more than likely will he end up with a felony conviction because of this, he's going to end up with theft on his record, which is definitely frowned upon by many types of companies and jobs. Don't nobody want to be hiring no thief. And having a theft charge on your record, that just ain't a good look at all. Especially when you go to fill out any application that's going to ask you, have you been convicted of a felony in the last 5 or 7 years? What I truly hope is that this young man is able to rebound from this situation and find a way to get beyond this, past this, and is able to live a fulfilling, successful life. Living the criminal part of his past, just that, in his past. But unfortunately, for so many young people, myself included, back when I was young Joe, now I'm old Joe, but just like myself at his age, when I was catching my first felony conviction, that would only lead to a pebble heading down a mountain that's going to become a snowball of many more times that I would find myself getting in trouble before I would finally realize at the age of 32, coming home from prison after 7 years, it's time to try to do things completely different. Hey, look, that's it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about this. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace!